Did ancient humans have one partner? It sounds simple. It is not. The answer touches biology, archaeology, and anthropology, and depends entirely on who's asking and why. Once you dig into the evidence, the answer satisfies nobody completely, which usually means it's accurate. The short answer is mostly, kind of, with major variation, and the idea of one partner, as we use it today, is doing a lot of unexamined work in that question. Let's start with biology. The body keeps a record of what our ancestors did, even when no other documentation survives. Different mating systems leave different signatures in anatomy itself.
In species with strong polygyny, one male, many females in tense competition, males grow significantly larger than females. Bigger males win more fights, so size gets selected for. Gorillas are the classic case. Males are roughly twice the body mass of females. The anatomy is the mating system, written into bone and muscle. In strictly monogamous species, male and female size is nearly identical. There's no advantage to size when each male pairs with one female. Now look at humans. Men average 15 to 20% heavier, 5 to 7% taller than women. More than monogamy predicts, far less than gorilla-level polygyny. Biology points somewhere in between.
Put the biology together, and the picture is consistent. Homo sapiens evolved in a mating context that was neither strictly monogamous nor highly promiscuous, something messier than either category. So what did that messier reality look like in practice? For that, we need anthropology, real human societies across history around the world. The cross-cultural record is illuminating and a little inconvenient for anyone wanting a simple answer. Of several hundred documented societies, roughly 80 to 85% formally permit polygyny, one man, multiple wives. That gets cited constantly as proof polygyny is natural and monogamy is imposed. But the statistic needs context. Without it, it's actively misleading. First, permitting polygyny isn't the same as practicing it. In most societies that allow it, most actual pairings are still monogamous. Polygyny concentrates among high-status men with resources to support multiple wives. Most men don't have those resources. Most men in most societies throughout history have had one partner at a time, even where multiple partners were legally allowed. Permission and lived practice are reliably different things. Second, the societies we've documented aren't a random sample. Heavily polygynous societies tend to be stratified, agricultural, with wealthy men able to accumulate surplus. Hunter-gatherer societies, the vast majority of human evolutionary history, show much lower rates of polygyny. When we look at societies most similar to our mating psychology evolved in, the pattern shifts toward flexible monogamy with occasional variation. Third, roughly 15 to 20% of documented societies practice monogamy as a cultural norm, not a trivial number. It appears independently across separate societies, suggesting it's not just a Western imposition, but a recurring solution to a real problem. What problem does monogamy solve? This is where it gets interesting. One theory from researchers including Joseph Henrich holds that enforced monogamy emerged to solve problems caused by unequal reproductive success. In strongly polygynous systems, high-status men monopolize access, leaving many lower-status men with no partner at all. Groups of unpartnered men with nothing to lose are historically terrible for social stability. They fight more, take dangerous risks, disrupt cooperation. Monogamous norms reduce that variance. They give lower status men access to partners, reducing disruptive competition and increasing investment in the group. The society becomes more cooperative, more stable, better able to run long-term collective projects. Societies with more enforced monogamy show lower male-on-male violence and higher paternal investment in children. Monogamy also solves paternity uncertainty. A man in an enforced exclusive relationship can be more confident her children are his. Higher paternity confidence means more investment. More investment means better outcomes for kids.
The logic is cold, the consequences are real.
None of this means monogamy is biologically inevitable or a universal default. It means monogamy is a social technology, rules that emerged repeatedly because they solve real problems. Invented, not innate. But invented things can still work, and needing enforcement doesn't make something unnatural. Now, what actually happened in practice? Social norms and real behavior are reliably different in every society ever studied. The genetic record gives us a window. Y chromosome studies, tracing father to son, show wildly unequal male reproductive success in some periods. One famous study found a single man living 4,000 to 5,000 years ago on the Eurasian steppe has between 16 and 19 million male line descendants alive today.
That's not random variation. It reflects some men having dramatically more reproductive success than others, consistent with stratified warrior pastoralist societies of the Bronze Age steppe. Some men had many children with many women. Many men had none. The genes remember, even when the documents don't. Ancient DNA from Neolithic farming sites in Europe shows the same pattern. Fewer male lineages than female ones. Agriculture and owning land you could pass to sons expanded the material basis for polygyny dramatically. Hunter-gatherer populations, by contrast, show much lower male reproductive inequality. You can't support multiple wives without accumulating more than your neighbors. Sharing resources wasn't just a value, it was a structural limit on inequality.
People formed primary pair bonds. This is consistent across every society ever documented, a recognized, stable relationship between two people with mutual investment and shared responsibility for children, a genuine human universal. The neurochemistry behind it, oxytocin and vasopressin, the systems producing attachment to one specific person, is real, well understood, and the product of long evolutionary history. It evolved because it worked. Pairs that stayed together raised more surviving children, generation after generation, until that architecture became permanent. But the pair bond coexisted with behavior outside it, in both directions, in both sexes, across nearly every society documented. Sperm competition, intermediate testes size, cross-cultural evidence of extra-pair relationships all point the same way. Humans formed primary pair bonds and also, at meaningful rates, sought relationships outside those bonds. The pair bond was the modal relationship, the expected structure. It wasn't always exclusive in practice, even when expected to be exclusive in theory. Jealousy gives us one of the clearest windows into this. It's a cross-cultural universal, present in every society studied, tied consistently to mate retention. Men report more intense jealousy over sexual infidelity. Women report more intense jealousy over emotional infidelity. Evolutionary theory predicts exactly this split based on the different reproductive costs each posed. The psychology is a record of the ancestral mating environment, written in emotion instead of stone or bone.